folks, Taco here, TacoBonsai, and today I'm going to repot this ficus bengalensis, banyan tree. Before I do, excuse me, I want to just talk a little bit about my morning. Of course, I'm going to try to upload this in the prompt time, but at least I keep it up the content. This morning I attended a Virginia Bonsai Society meeting as a guest, which was excellent. That was the name of the woman who I corresponded with by email, and she invited me over, so I came. I did pay for membership for the rest of this year and next year, so I am now, for the first time in my life, a member of the Virginia Bonsai Society, or Bonsai Club at all. It was an awesome meeting. It was a lot of fun. A lot of really fun people. I didn't get to talk to a lot of people. I mostly just listened this time. They did talk about a lot of things. I wish I had heard earlier in my journey with bonsai, and there were some very talented people. In particular, there was one presenter who brought in his work from the schools, which was beautiful. The one that I had a few years back, I hope it would turn out that good. And then we also had a Barbados cherry, much better than mine. I don't know if his is as old as his spruce was, but it looked really good. And it may be even thicker than mine, but at least the same thickness as mine. And mine, of course, hasn't grown very quickly, but his was very well done. He had some nice big primary branches started. And my roots are exposed. I hadn't intended that. His were a lot more of what I was looking for in the plant. So the next time I repot that, which may be soon, that'd be an exciting thing for me to try to work on, is to get a little closer to my goals for this. But I do want to show off, not so humbly, that I am currently a member of the Virginia Bonsai. I think meet about 15 minutes from my house. If you are in the north of Chesapeake, Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach, the Five Cities area, please come to a meeting, at least to check it out. I think you want to come back again. They're not very long, even with the presentations, and I'm sure there are meetings where you do more workshops. This one was mostly talking, but they do touch on some stuff that definitely is a beginner I'd love to hear. But even as someone who's been doing it for a little bit, it was really fun to hear them talk about it. I will never get tired of hearing about broom style or clump style or literati or upright normal, anything. They all sound like a lot of fun. So this will go with my tools and tools. I was able also to get some of my tools unpacked, so I don't know if I've ever showed you folks this, but I've gotten this little saw. They try to get me to get a bigger one. I'm like, no, this one looks a little fitted, go nice between branches, so I've gotten this saw. Because I've been telling you a lot of things with my concave cutters. These still definitely need to be profiled or replaced. I probably should just replace them. But in reality, I'm probably not getting these again. I would probably get nibblers, the rounded nibblers. They're a little smaller, and I think they do a better job of what they need to do. And they may not be as easy to keep sharp, but these are very bulky to me. They're kind of not what I want. They do a great job of what they do, but over time they kind of bend. You might be able to see they're not doing the best job. I also grabbed as one of my couple soul picks. I started to make another one. This is not a wand, although it has this cool handle. You might be able to see it's sort of flat, almost like a screwdriver. This is a brass ornamental golf club thing. So these used to be threads. What I found when I was doing fencing at the farm is that the digging bar did a lot better job with tamping than I thought it would. And of course it has a broad, flat head. I can use it to push all those rough stones in, but proportionally are very similar in size to soul pick. And then the other end I would use just kind of tamp it down. I would take my time, do a little at a time. But it really operated much of the same way that I would do bonsai. So I try to end up with that, with this. I may end up making it shorter, but as of right now, I like the weight to it. I'd rather use the weight of the tool to tamp. Something like this has good weight to it, but it's just not quite as heavy. I'm not sure it do as good a job as far as pushing that soil in there under its own weight. So that's another one that's new-ish. I've had it before. I don't know if I've used it on camera. Of course, a little reliable. I don't think they were that expensive, but despite how they look, they are not all rough. There's a little bit of rust on them, but they're freshly oiled. And then with oil, make sure they're nice and clean. And they've been recently sharpened, although I don't know if they're sharp enough. So I found these finally. I don't have to use the sewing scissors anymore. And this is sort of a new one. I think it was Adam from Notion Bonsai. By the way, congratulations, Adam, on your book. I'm excited for it. I don't know if you saw, but I couldn't resist to pre-order a signed copy for you. It's an honor, but also I think that's something more sentimental. You don't know me personally. I don't know you personally. We've conferred a little bit on our platform here, but I would say you've only treated me as a friend and with respect and with patience. And for that, I have to say it's better to buy a book about bonsai from someone who I know in that regard, even if it's only through a media platform. Yeah, I'm excited to read it, and of course it'll probably help me get to know you as an artist as well, which would be kind of cool. You had used a fork before. Now I had got a fork from a thrift store. Of course, it didn't have a tail on the fork, but it was a regular traditional like dessert fork. And so I twisted the tines to spread them out a little bit, and then bent them over so they have their shape. This is a little sharp. I'll try to make it a little bit less leaky. But the shape for me is kind of what I was looking for before for a root make. Not perfect, but starting to get closer. And then I just cut it off and put it. This is a handle from a cocktail strainer I had, but I wanted a little more ergonomic of a handle. In reality, I think I'd probably rather have a longer strainer handle, kind of like this. In fact, if I can do one of those, that might be nice, but this is so long. This was just being the dessert fork while I came down here, so I wanted a little more ergonomic. So those are some of my tools. I showed you guys before my water cans. Those are doing great. I think all the trees I showed you guys before, nothing surprising there. So I'm going to go ahead and repot this one. It won't be very long with that part of the video, but hope you guys still enjoy it. Alright. It is my hope that you guys are still hearing me. Here is that bengalensis. It hasn't grown terribly strong, but it's got enough strength now that I feel a little more confident. And this pot has definitely seen better days. So first things first, I'm going to try to get the wire off of the pot, which may not be as easy as it sounds, because I did quite a number on this just trying to get in here. This pot, I found it before and really liked it. My mom's like, she should. However, in that process, I had left it out and it froze. Alright, definitely want to get in here. Sort of this little around the sides here. I think partially as a result of being not a like great pot, but also having this wire in here, it's gripped really, really well. Oh, that'll do it too. So you can kind of see why I wanted to replace this pot. It is done. And that is a good reason. You know, I'm okay. There's no damage on me. That is a good reason not to keep pots after they've been damaged like this. Now, if that had happened and it hurt me, that would be an awful video, of course. Also, it would have probably scared some people. It might have scared some people as it was. I was careful. I anticipated that. So it's not a new thing. Broken pots for me. It's certainly not for this reason. So I've got some good roots here. Lost a little mix up there, but that's alright. Let's see if I can't get my wire out of there. I will not be reusing that wire because I don't really wire a lot. I'll be throwing it away. It's still perfectly good. It's now time to see if we can't just some soil out here. So far, I think this is doing as good a job as I want it to. It's not perfect, but it's definitely, you know, I might like Matt's root hook better, but But we'll see as time goes on. This is kind of like a rough draft. I can always do it a different way next time. But I had not just a suspicion that I needed to work on this one, but also a very strong feeling that there are issues. So I'm sure you guys can see this. It's not necessarily one-sided, but it is not growing out this way. So I've got to work on that. Also, this soil is very, very sandy. See there, it's flat up. You would normally think it's quite nice, but I think that is a result of it. I think I might have slipped on this before. Some good roots, but not all of them the best. That might explain soil, that is. Might explain why I didn't have great root base here. Alright. I think I'm going to rinse this. Get some more of the sand off. So I'm going to pause it for a moment and just go ahead and rinse this. Alright. Back from rinsing. Sorry if that was an awful transition. And so I'm looking at some stuff I do like, and I'm looking at some stuff I don't like. My bigger roots, of course, terminated nicely. I'll probably leave those the way they are, but it's really long. So I'm going to go through and make the saw a little bit shorter. So it fits in a pot better. And that it won't ever really sit perfect. I'm not seeing a whole lot of work that I need to do as far as root pruning other than that. I've got some stuff down below, but nothing so thick that's going to interfere with its growth. Quite frankly, everything here is kind of what it needs to be to grow. So I already picked out a pot for this. It's a larger pot. Not insanely large, but larger. Because I thought, you know what, this thing needs a little more space to grow. It should grow a lot faster. So probably go this one here. I had also put aside here it is. So I put aside a little screen here. I don't know if it's big enough. No, just barely big enough. So I'm going to start with that. We'll take this down. These are my bar stools for my apartment that need to work after this one. So recording? Yeah, good. Right. I'm going to grab my soil. Alright. First, I put a base layer here. I'll do it over my soil. This is not using that same soil, it's older soil. It's been baked, all that other fun stuff. Put that in here. I'm going to round it up a little bit in the middle. So I've got a nice platform there. Hopefully everyone can see well. If not, I can always adjust next time. Now I'm going to pop it in here. Now I am going to readjust the camera angle because I feel as if maybe there's better. Alright, a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back. That's still wet, so nobody's dead. Alright, so now I'm going to just make sure all my roots are as readable as I can get them. Of course, I've got some room in this pot, so I'm going to make a little break out. Of course, the goal is to get roots in every direction. Whether they all hit in every direction, I'm actually not that particular about. Some people want them perfect. I'm just, as long as they're where they're supposed to be, I'm not too upset about it. So I think this is a little closer to place. Put some more soil around it. Should be kind of holding itself up there. The camera, hopefully it's still pointed in. More. So now, kind of Yes, this is doing what I wanted to do. I hadn't used it much. It kind of just goes right in there. And what I do is I start with the long side, say perpendicular to the tree, I guess is the best way to say that. So that way it kind of just pushes it in, work from the trunk out. I don't know the correct way to do that. That's how I do my fence posts. And of course, if I don't apply my experiences like this, what am I even doing? I can feel that this is getting more firm as I work on it. Now, this particular particular soil pick, it might be a little sharp at the end, but it's not damaging the roots as far as I can tell yet, so we're in good shape. So as well, sorry, use bad on that one. Now, I'm not really using my own hand strength here, so then I turn it the opposite, so it's parallel, or in line, I should say, and the same sort of thing. And what I find is this kind of works the soil down, levels it out, and it also works the between. Now, I don't have anything here I call primary surface roots per se. I have these bigger ones that, of course, done a good job of working them away into smaller roots since I've terminated them. And I'm very pleased about that. It's still not quite what I usually do with roots. That's very broad end. So especially for big old trees like this, I find it's okay. I'm going to stop boring you folks, and we'll come back. It's all done. Alright. It's all in there. Let's spin the laser now. As you can see, it looks the way it should. So now, I'm going to, water it in. And for that, I know I've already demonstrated this. Oof. I'm going to use my knot hawes. I'm going to show you how well it waters in. So it's a really good spray, considering I made it. It does a really good job of soaking but not moving a lot of soil around. I'm really pleased because I wasn't sure exactly how it would turn out, but it does a good job of watering it. Kind of hit everything. That is a plastic pot. This tree is way too early on to be worried about the material of the pot per se, and being a ficus, it doesn't really mind if it's glazed or plastic or anything like that. Lots of water coming out the bottom. As you can see, it's draining excellently. So what that tells me is I did a pretty good job of planting this in here. And also that I packed my soil correctly. Just getting in there, getting soil around it isn't all there is to it. But also, since I kind of made some of this watering can, it tells me that this watering can is doing its job. I don't see water really pulling up on top, but it really is putting a lot of water out. It soaks things quite quickly. So I would call this, so far at least, a success. Now, I put quite a bit of water through here. It's already coming up on the top of the pot inside it. This is the lid to my soil. So it's really a great container for old water. I'm going to dump it all over my neighbor downstairs. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I'm going to get a little tilt up. Sorry about the fingers. Less tilt up, I guess. Switch you guys back to teeny tiny. Let's see the whole tree. I do like this tree. I think it's got a lot of potential. I just know that it's got a lot more time ahead of it growing. So I didn't prune anything off the top of this. I think it is still very, very tree. So a long ways to go. My plans for it were for something like this to be the front. This would hopefully be my leader, but we'll see what happens. Of course, this and this are growing more vigorously, and then this be a second trunk. But we'll see what happens. As it is right now, I actually like seeing from sort of this point of view, and I can always switch things up, but only because the way the leaves are kind of falling here, I think it just looks really petite and nice. I might even end up chopping it farther back, but this one I think would be a really nice larger tree. So as it is now, it's only, that's all. I'd like to have it probably up here, but it's all said and done, have the smaller leaves on it. It's only about a foot, maybe 14 inches tall. And it's potted up. All right. So that was it for this episode. Thank you all for listening to me, bearing with me. Hopefully my audio was okay. I tried a I tried a remote microphone that slows down and clipped on me. It is pointed at me. Got the dead cat puff on there, rabbit tail, whatever you call it. Or called the dead cat. So hopefully that worked out nice. Hopefully, I think this platform, this background, the outdoor storage door actually works kind of nice. You're getting good contrast. It's not black and Mustang. That's something I love to work with. Maybe I'll sound very up. As it is right now, I think the light is also nice. So I don't have direct light anytime during the day, per se, except for maybe a little bit in the evening time. I think this is a nice soft light for giving really good contrast and color white balance. Of course, my filming techniques are off, but I'll continue to work on those, and I will continue to work on, of course, my candor. I think I'm still coming into my own as far as a content creator and how I would like to be observed. I haven't done a whole lot of content creation. I've been doing this for a few years, but especially lately I've been very out of practice. But here's what I'll probably end up doing. I'm just kind of playing around with stuff. So far, I think I've hit a direction I like. I've got more of my tools available as a resource for people to speak with on one side. So we'll just keep working on that. I appreciate all of you. Cheers.